Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Velen, and this is Vintage Story Unearthed for version 1.21. There we go. And now you should be able to see that at the top it tells me that it's going to be a little bit before it's ready. It's still just warming up. But if I come back in a little bit, it'll tell me the overall length of time before that'll be ready, thanks to the mod that I have installed. Again, if you want that mod list, I've got it in the description of the video down below. I've got it in the description of every video, so you shouldn't have to go searching too far if that becomes an issue. Returning, you can now see that it's probably going to be ready in about 15 hours or so, which probably going to be sometime in the morning. Shouldn't be too bad. I'm just making a lot of charcoal because I'm going to need a lot of charcoal. In fact, I think for the amount of iron that I'm going to need for making like steel armor and tools and things of that nature, I'm going to need a lot of stuff. And as you can see, we've got lots of iron blooms. Oh, I never actually ended up filling those. Probably best if I do that and light them. But I'm going to need as much of the charcoal as I can get, because where in my previous world I had lots of brown coal around, I haven't actually found any as of yet, at least none that I can remember. Wait, I don't need to add charcoal. These already have iron blooms. They've all finished. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, these apparently are all done. So let's just bust these out. Oh, they're still hot. That's not going to be good for me to handle, so I don't want to scroll over those in my inventory. Oh my gosh. And with 30 red hot blooms, I'm going to be grabbing my tongs before I end up scrolling over to these onto the shelf. 30. Wow. Okay, and they're actually a workable temperature right now as well. Or are they? Yeah, they are. I never actually considered that before. Do we have any wind? Oh, sadly, we don't. So I think I'll just wait for some wind, because it'll just make things a lot quicker. In the meantime, though, let's see. I can just put these in here, let them cool off next to the rest of this, and when they're ready and we've got some more wind, I can, well, make better use of my time. But anyway, as I was saying, I'm going to need all this charcoal for making lots of steel. Honestly, I think it's like 4 or 5 stacks of... well, let's see, how much do they stack in? Alright, so it'd be 2.5 stacks of charcoal, I think, will get me, I think, through 1 set of steel in a week. And it'll take a whole week for a refractory kiln. But I figure, you know what, might as well start making one of those in the meantime, so that I have all that set and ready to go when it's time. And I can also make sure that I've got all the ingredients and I don't have to wait even longer if I am ready. Alright, I looked up steel making. I actually looked up the Cementation Furnace, and this is what came up with, so I'm going to bookmark this, so once again, a mod, so that I can find this again quickly and easily just by going to my bookmarks tab. I mean, I could go to the guides page, and but then I've got to scroll through all these, so whereas here, actually I can unbookmark some of this other stuff as well. I can just click on it very easily and go back to it even quicker. So I made tier 2. I can't make tier 3 yet, so I'm gonna need a whole bunch of stuff, and I have a very specific amount of bricks, so I'm gonna want to be very cautious about how I spend them, because I don't know where some of the materials are for making more at the moment, unless I go out exploring again. So until then, I'm going to make things as I need them. So let's take a look. First, it says 6 refractory brick gratings, which has its tier 2. There we go. 1 crafting makes 3. Oh, and it looks like I'll be needing some mortar, which is some slaked lime and some kind of sand. And by hovering my mouse over here, I'm using my scroll wheel. It's not actually scrolling through. If I do that with the sand, it works. And this is one of the mods that I have installed as well. Allows me to quickly and easily see if there's other alternatives, but it looks like it's only slaked lime, so I'm going to need some water, a little bit of quicklime for that, which is made from lime, which of course you can make from limestone and other things, including, where is it, chalkstone. There we go. So I can use chalk for making the stuff that I need. And here's the interesting part. I'm not really going to need much. Mortar comes in large quantities. When I click on here, you can see there's 8 per 1 liter. And 1 liter is, yeah, you get quite a decent amount. 4 for one of those, plus 4 quicklime, so it's not so bad. Now, one way of getting just a bunch of stones is, of course, just picking it up off the ground like that. You can sometimes break some ruins items, and they will actually crumble into stones. If you've got a large flat area, which I actually don't have one near me, like a mostly desert or just rocky area where there's very little vegetation, because maybe this could work. I could try heading out and see if I could find some. But if you just find the rock piles, normally that's like the larger piles of stones on the ground, just break those, and you don't even need a pick, and you can get a whole bunch of them, and it's much quicker, in fact, if you have that nearby, to get yourself a bunch of the stones that you want. Now me, I just don't want a bunch of these stones laying around my yard, so I'm picking them up so that I don't hit them with a lawnmower later on. You know, if that's just going to dull the blade, maybe even wreck it, so yeah, I'm just clearing it out and getting my little fox friend back over by the farm. And it looks like there is some success with the bees going on here. You can see that we've already got some skeps are currently very large and looking beautiful. Now the mod that I added in cute bees. As you can see, there are some flying around, but not 100% compatibility. We've got a whole bunch of other bees as well, but it's still fantastic seeing these little striped buzzies running around, flying around the beehives. It's really nice, and I do love it. I hope that mod ends up working out a little bit better, or those assets are used a little more effectively in the game in the future. So it looks like we do actually have wind now that I've been just kind of generally running around the base. And I'm going to see about setting up this underneath, and perhaps I can get this to automatically. Yes, and it's even faster than I could grind it right now, so that's extra good. And then I can work on some other stuff while the lime is being ground up. In fact, what else do we need besides that? An iron door, oh boy, and 2 stone coffins. Okay, granite, andesite, basalt, peridotite. Let's say granite, because that's probably the most likely one that I've got closest to me. It's just a hammer, a chisel, and 3 of the completely solid blocks. And these little wrench symbols added from the mod are telling me that it just uses up a little durability. It doesn't use up the entire tool. And with this, I should be able to make one of those, but I'm going to need 2 of those plus 2 lids. Which looks like that's some... oh wait, borax? When was that a thing? Okay, well I guess I'm going to need some borax for this anyway. I did forget about that. But stone coffin is a vessel carved of raw stone used in making steel. Yeah, okay. So I guess I'm going to need some borax somewhere. I don't know that I have any. I'll have to check through my inventory stock. But making the lids otherwise, it's pretty basic. Okay, what I thought was quartz in my inventory is in fact borax. So I do have an adequate amount of that. In fact, what I think I'm going to do is grind up a little bit of this. I'm only going to do 10. Because borax grinds up into powdered borax, which is like doubled. And it's probably more than I'm going to need for most things. And in fact, I also found that I have lots of lime in here, so that shouldn't be a problem. I don't even need to be grinding up the stuff that I've got up there, but at least I've cleaned up the yard a little bit. On top of the doubling of borax, when you compare it to lime or chalk that's been ground up into lime, 5 liters of water plus only 2 borax, which is actually only 1 piece of borax, will get you 5 times as much. So, and it's usable in similar ways. You know, it's good for making the leather. So, it's a 5 times as good item. Could save you a lot of time if you find some borax and you don't have chalk or lime near you. And that can be very useful for speeding up the processing of that, because you don't have to, you know, grind it up as much. Okay, so cooking, smelting, or roasting lime will get me quicklime, which is what I'm going to need. So I should be able to just do this in here, and I believe I should just be able to do it with a bit of... Is this going to be hot enough? I don't know. Let's see here. 825, and this is going to get me to 900, so that looks like it would be pretty good. Ah, these are the rock piles I was talking about earlier. So if you break one, you can get quite a bit of stones, and it's really quick and easy to break those, especially if you've got a lot of them dotting around your place. Now, if you're curious as to what the heck it is I'm doing, oh geez, besides getting scared by the occasional boat horn, I'm running around looking for granite, and I'm trying to go down deeper because I know that the chalk is only going to go so far down. Oh, and while I'm at it, I might as well have a little bit of one of these going on here. Let's put a light and a ladder, and then I can go exploring this, just to make sure that I'm not going to jump down into a nest full of baddies. Let's grab my sword here. And yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff going on. I feel like I've already been in this. Maybe this was in my old world as well. I remember not finding too much in here, but I'm going to have a look around, see if there's anything I can grab while I'm here. But then I'm going to move... Oh my gosh, I found another lantern. A copper hoe, a copper shovel, a Jonas subassembly. Wow, holy smokes. Okay, so there is good stuff here, but I'm going to have a look around, and then I'm still going to keep looking for a bunch of granite if possible. Okay, so I see something down here that is very, very dangerous. One of the most dangerous regular mobs in the game. It's called the Sawblade Locust. That's because it has a saw blade, as you just saw there, for a tail, or an actuating arm or something like that. So, let's hope I don't die trying to kill this thing. I can't even hit it. There we go. Got it. Okay. I got really lucky that it did not figure out where the heck I was. So I will take that very happily. Because usually they have lots of good loot as well. Oh, and look at this. There's another passageway. Gosh. Finally found granite, which is what I came down here for. But as you can see, my inventory is just like chock-a-block full of loot and goodies. Okay. Now to just collect everything. Man. And there's another tunnel. Oh my gosh. Okay, and it looks like there's also some locust nests. I had no idea that just next to my base and underneath would be all this wonderful and interesting loot. Time to go gather up some more stuff if I can. Oh my gosh, there's so much cool things. Okay, it would seem that I have found myself right next to this guy. I've found myself one of these, a translocator, and it's broken, but one could always try to fix it, especially if they're technically inclined like my character is, and they get benefits for doing so. Let's see if there's any... Oh, there's painting and some seeds. Any goodies in here that can help me with this. Aha! Usually next to a translocator you'll find one of these piles might actually have metal parts in it. You just need to keep breaking it and keep looking for them. You might find it nearby. Usually something is nearby to help you with repairing it. At least a little bit. Looks like there's quite a lot of interest going on down here. I don't know that I really want to be that involved in it just yet. I'm kind of thinking at this point, might just grab my arrow and get the heck out of here. Gosh, yeah, I'm going to end up attracting some attention just going to get it. Maybe it's not worth getting the arrow right now. Maybe I'll come back. So I know that I've got this translocator here, and I've started... Whoops, I grabbed a bunch of granite. As you can see, I just kind of made a big mess here, poking it all out. But I put a marker here, and let's see if I can do this properly. Started making a bit of a path back so that I can, well, return here and try to repair that translocator, because I didn't find any metal parts. This is the first time I've ever found a translocator and I didn't find any metal parts. But anyway, I just need to find the way up and out now, because I don't remember the way back. So I didn't find the way that I originally came in, but I did find a bit of dirt here, and I'm pretty sure this is going to lead me back up and out. And it's also really close, when I look at the map, really close to my my path in. So I kind of figure I'll just make a little bit of a stairway, and it'll be a quick and easy way of getting down in here. Probably a little bit quick and easier than before. And there we go, right here. So now I just need to put a little marker so that I know where the entrance is as well. And then I'll be good. I'll use the same color as I did for this. That's not the same color. Oh, okay. So that I know that it connects to that. That's pretty much how I've done it before, is that I'll use like a little ladder icon just so that I know where stuff is. So now just to drop off all my loot. I did get all the granite that I needed, at least I hope so. I got 10 blocks. I figured that's probably pretty good. You can easily get a whole bunch more if you just want it for decorative purposes, just by clicking it with a chisel and a hammer, and then you can just pick it up with your pickaxe, and you don't have to like make like the grid pattern and then try and break out behind it. That's just good for, you know, doing your usual aesthetics, though. In this case, I have a lot of stuff to put away. Alright, and finally, I've got the granite stone coffin that I was looking to make before. And I will need, before I can make the other stuff, I will need some of the, was it mortar? Or no, it was just plain old borax, wasn't it? Yeah, I've got some up here. Let me just grab that. There we go, and with the borax, I now can make this. Ah, perfect. I've got a bunch left over, which I think it'll also be needed for making an iron anvil anyway, so that's just going to be plain old useful to have regardless. Now it's time to start making a little bit of a project basket here so that I don't take up too much of my own inventory. I'm going to toss all this stuff in here as well, and then I can keep a little bit better track of the things that I'm working on for this refractory kiln. So now I just need 4 liters of water. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm holding control when I'm doing that just so that I can get smaller amounts. And there we go, 16 makes slaked lime. Now if I thought that I would need to seal that, but I guess I don't. Oh right, it wasn't that I need to worry about, it's the sand. I need to get some sand. And with 16 pieces of sand I should be able to make, yep, there we go, a lot of mortar. I forgot it's 8 each, so I've got plenty of mortar. I'll probably find a use for that in the future. For now, I just need 2 pieces of the 128 that I just made, but at least I've got plenty for future me. Taking these and the 12 refractory bricks that I have, I can make the 6 gratings that I am in need of next. Excellent. Making progress. Next I'm going to need a solid or windowed iron door, and solid one is just 6 plates. That's a lot of iron. Windowed one is 5 plates and 2 iron rods. Okay. Which is about the same amount of stuff, just looks different. So, do I want the sealed or the not sealed? Probably easier just to make the plates instead of the rods, but I feel like I want to be able to see the progress of things, so I am going to go for the windowed iron door. But that, again, is going to require a lot of iron, which, yeah, I'm a bit lacking on. I've got 2 iron chained, that's about it. On the plus side, it looks like the wind is up, and so that means I might be able to get a little bit of progress with making some iron ingots and plates. Oh, don't forget tongs. These are going to be hot. Well, it would seem that the wind gave up just at the right point. If I were making another plate, it would be a bit of a faff, but I'm not. I'm making more of those rods. So now all I need to do is just make more of those rods, which thankfully isn't going to be too difficult in comparison. There we go. I did make one mistake at some point. I accidentally chose, I think it's 8 nails and strips, so I've got this extra bit here, work item, that's just going to kind of sit there for now until I figure out what I want to do with it. Just so I don't forget about it entirely, I may end up just putting it here I mean, it looks like an ingot because I really haven't touched it, but yeah. Anyway, let's go make that door. Actually, I've got the tongs. I should be able to do it now with what I've got, whether they're hot or otherwise. There we go. One windowed iron door, and I can now see the progress of things as it goes. Alright, now to set up a little bit of that kiln that I have. And it started raining, of course, but I'm not too bothered by it. I plan on putting it probably about... I'm thinking of lining it up with this a little bit, maybe here. Yeah, that'll work. And this will be the center of it, I think. I am going to clear out a little bit of this dirt with my new copper shovel that I ended up finding in those ruins underground. Clear away this floor here because it's just kind of bugging me that it's so close to this. There we go. I think that'll work. I now have some extra soil should I need it. I want to have access underneath this structure as it is. So I'm going to do a bit of this. I can't remember how big it actually needs to be. If it's like a 5x5 or a 3x3 or what, or even a 7x7. I think it's a 5x5, but we'll find out. Anyway, I'm gonna start by making a bunch of the bricks. Oh, which requires mortar. Oh, I totally forgot. Okay, I'll go get some of that. There we go, and this will make 16 bricks for me to start with, and I've got plenty of mortar left over. 118 just on my first crafting. I still have 118 left. But I need to eat some food, and then I'll be back to start building this thing. Alright, it says here, place a 3x2 flooring of grating in the middle of it. Place both stone coffin sections in opposing directions. Alright, so I will put down on top of this 3x2. Oh, so that's 3x2 grating. So how do I want to have this? In fact, I think I'll do it this way. Yeah, there we go. So I've got a 3x2 grating. That works. And then this will be like an empty spot that I have underneath. I can build up around it. I'm not too bothered by that. But it says, in the middle of it, place both stone coffin sections in opposing directions so as to create a large container. Shift right mouse click on the stone coffin, you'll see an outline showing where you have to place the remaining refractory bricks. Not a problem. We just get some of this dirt so I can get up here a little bit easier, and then I just need these coffin bits. So if I put one here, okay, it faces me when I place it down, so that's not a problem. There, and then I need to go over here and there. And now when I right click on, oh, do I need to have the lids on it as well? Shift right mouse click. Aha! There we go. That is what it's going to end up looking like in the end, which it is a 5x5, but the corners are missing. Okay, that's not bad at all, actually. I should probably put down a little bit of this dirt just so that I can have an easier time about this for now. I can make the footprint a little bit more visible for me, besides this the exacting visibility that is currently there. Alright, we're going to start with the back wall, I think. Okay, the sides are a little different. They actually go in. So let me grab some of this dirt. Do a bit of this. And then they go up to kind of make this chimney look. Okay. Interesting. I know how I was saying that I'm only going to make exactly as the amount that I need, but honestly, I'm not entirely sure how much that is, because I'm going to need any extras anyway for as things degrade. I just hope that I have enough here to finish this project. Thankfully, upon breaking these things with a pickaxe, they don't just crumble into nothingness, so that's a benefit. Alright, I think that does it. So if I right click on this There we go. It should go away. And this will allow me to just see a little bit better while I do the last bits here. And that is putting a door, oh, with the lovely sound, and then putting on the coffin lids, which I think that's all it takes. And then it should say that it's done. So sneak, right click. Yeah, it's not saying anything now. So I think I've got it completed, and we're all good to go. I've got 4 bricks left over. I have no... Oh, no, wait. I have 7. I have 7 refractory bricks left. And this is the item itself. Oh, boy. Now, I am going to need a little bit of access underneath to have a bunch of coal or charcoal, most likely, or brown coal. But I don't have any brown coal anymore, so it's kind of sad. But this is just basically the area that I'm trying to get into here, is for the charcoal and whatnot to actually start cooking in here. So this is the area that I'm going to need access to. Don't have to have it along the entire thing. I just need to have it underneath there. So I'm actually going to seal those up. I'm going to put this down. And then I just need to have basically 2 spaces here, and then a little bit of something to kind of... I'm probably going to chisel something there so that I can make a bit of a blockade, and the charcoal doesn't just like spill out after as I place it. Alright, so the thinking here is that I'm going to put down a bit of granite, and then I'm going to chisel this. So I just right click, then I take away a big chunk of it, and an even bigger chunk of it. Okay, there we go. So I've got like this little grate going on here, which is great. Anyway, I'm gonna go get some charcoal and see if I can actually start getting this set up. I'm also gonna need a bunch of iron. I don't have any iron ingots. Oh man, which is kind of sad. But still, I'm gonna grab these, and you'll see what I've got going on here in a moment. I can just get this set up for when the wind returns, which is the wind has returned. I need to start smelting up a bunch of iron. But if I can hold a torch, there we go. When I put this down, you can see how sometimes charcoal will just start like falling over. But because I'm aiming at the back when it fills it up, there we go. Those are now filled. And if I want to, all I need to do is sneak right click with the torch in my main hand, like this, and light it, and it'll light both of them, and then this will start like working, which I don't want to do just yet. Yeah, that's going to be a thing and a half. But for now, I'm going to just have this be a little bit more difficult to access here. Let's see, can I even get up here like this? Yeah, kinda. That's kind of iffy. I'm gonna need to do something better than this for underneath. There we go. That'll work. I can just come in from the side here, and that'll be just fine. So now I think I've got enough charcoal here. I can start the layers on top, but let's remove the lids, because you can't really do much while the lids are there. But if I sneak and right click, you can see I need to add some carburizable metal ingots, which I have charcoal, but now I need to then put some iron ingots in there, and then charcoal, and then iron ingots and charcoal, and keep doing that until it's completely full, and then I can put the lids back on and light it up. But for now, there's not a lot I can do until I've got more iron. I'm just going to put the lids there on the side, close that so that our fox friend doesn't think to get in there. That would be a terrible tragedy. And I'm going to go get some ingots and see about basically just making a whole bunch, well, not ingots. I'm going to make a whole bunch of iron blooms into iron ingots. So if you're one of those people that hand makes ingots and doesn't want to use the Helve Hammer, but you end up finding that you don't have enough pixels to make the ingot itself, that's what the Helve Hammer is actually there for. You might start noticing that in some of this I am removing a whole lot of pixels. In fact, removing all the pixels on some of these ingots that aren't even done yet, and I'm still having the Helve Hammer make everything and heal the ingot with any kind of missing pixels. So it's just to guarantee that you get the iron ingot. This is one way of doing it, by using a Helve Hammer. Of course, the speed that this Helve Hammer is going is varying quite a bit, from slow to very slow to normal speed to slow again. But at least it's helping me on occasion, and I'm just making ingots for now, so I don't need to worry about relying on the Helve Hammer to do so much more work for making plates. And in fact, removing those extra pixels on the side is one way to speed up the Helve Hammer if you want, because sometimes trying to move the pixels around is counterintuitive while the Helve Hammer is doing that. But if you remove the extra pixels, then you don't need to worry about the Helve Hammer taking time to do that. And if they're already gone, then they're gone, and it doesn't need to take the time on it. The only problem is, if you removed all the pixels and all wind stops, well, you have to wait for the Helve Hammer to finish the job for you, and you might have to reheat the item, but it's all up to you if you want to take that risk or not. And there, I think, is everything. I did all the ingots I had, which was 17 blooms, one of which I turned into a new iron hammer because it was pretty much done. I still have this old work item that I'm going to leave on the porch. Actually, I could probably put it here. There we go, that'll be a good reminder. And I'm going to take all these back. I've got 16 of them, and a little bit of charcoal. I probably need to get a little bit more. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to try refilling this. Oh, and it's telling me that I'm having a problem because there's wrong things in the way. Structure's not complete. Let me actually pick those up real quick. There we go. Now can I put this in here? There we go. I'm just holding sneak and right click to place those, and then it's asking for another layer of charcoal. Then I continue 1, 2, 3, 4 layer of charcoal. I don't have enough, so let me go get more charcoal. I don't think I have any in here. No, I'll be right back. It's a good thing that I decided to do this because I ran out of charcoal. Between making the iron ingots and trying to get the steel going, actually let me turn my sound back up again. It got a little bit charcoal intensive, but that's alright. I'm glad that I started this up before I did all that other stuff, because now I'm able to get my stock replenished. There we go, one more layer, and I've got more iron to put down. And I think that's about all I can do right there. That's all of it. I believe that's 16 ingots, and it's going to take a week to process this, and probably some refills on the charcoal as well. I'm going to need to go do a bigger chop. But for now, this is actually looking good. I now have this ready to go, and I am going to fire it up with a torch and hope that I haven't messed this up beyond all belief. Now, just to make sure, something you should know. You can open the door and it's fine, but, yeah, there we go. Don't walk in. You will have regrets. You will burn alive very rapidly. So you can see that it is now working. Over time, this coffin, as it's called in here, let me see if I can line myself up properly, is going to start getting very hot and start glowing. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a time lapse while I'm standing here, but I think that is a really good point for me to move on to the next project. And I think we'll pause it there and come back next time for more Vintage Story Unearthed for version 1.21.